welcome to another Sixers in 6 episode. I told you I was back, so we've got back-to-back episodes. So today's episode is going to be obviously about Game 2 and how Game 2 went, and get you to interact with me on this and give me some thoughts, because I want some comments below just to see if you agree with what I'm saying. So before we start on the Sixers, I want to say well done to Jalen Hurts, well-deserved contract. I know not everyone watching this will necessarily be a Eagles or NFL fan, but it's fantastic for a player to work hard and get that contract that he did. Fair play for Howie. I will do a video on that for my Eagles fans that follow. So with the Sixers, we got the win. I suppose that's the best way to just draw it underlying. We got the win. We didn't play our best basketball, particularly in the first half. And the fact Rivers had to call a timeout straight away because they weren't running the play that he wanted. And, he bollocked him at half time, bollocked him at the minute into the second half. But that worked. They needed to kick up the arse, and they come out and performed. Second half was more what we would like to see from our 76ers and how they try and perform going into each game, and as we progress into the playoffs and hope for that deep run that every single one of us wants. We've fed up those second round exits, so let's get the confidence up of players. Let's get the flow going so that we can feel confident going into round 2 against most likely Boston. And yes, I know I shouldn't be assuming because we're tuning up that we are through, but last night was Nets' chance to win the game. I think that was their chance to steal a game. They didn't do it. They didn't execute in the second half. We played better. Their game plan is not working. Doubling Embiid is not working. Embiid is passing the ball out and other players are making plays. You've given Harris 2 games now where he's just got out and made plays and been solid for us. And then last game, actually didn't make a lot of his shots, but he made more of them last night. So you're letting Steph guard Maxey at times, and when you're doubling up at the moment, Niang's been open, Harris has been open. You're leaving someone open, and Harris is making you pay when it's him that's being left open. So Nets have got to do something different, because do you just let Embiid get his and then force the others to try and get theirs? And I think Shaq or Charles, someone said it on Inside the NBA, you just let Embiid get his and make the others beat you. And I think that's probably the way to beat us. And I think that's how the Celtics and the Bucks and the other teams will play us. But we'll see as time goes on. So yeah, not great game overall, I suppose, in the first half for anyone. The turnovers were high, particularly from our star players, Harden and Embiid, not really making the right decisions, whether that was with, passing, shooting, whatever, holding onto the ball too long. So it was nice to see them bounce back in the second half. And I just want to get this out of the way now. Harden's stats aren't going to look great on the box score. However, he still made things go in the second half. He still looked like a good point guard. He made things happen. He didn't get all the assists, but he found players that are open. He dictated the pace. When we got into the half court and Maxey had the ball, for example, he was always passing it to Harden. So things were still going through him, even if he wasn't the one making a final pass to execute for the shot. So I'm still pleased with how he did, and I think he'll bounce back in game 3. But yeah, big shout out to Tobias Harris. His contract frustrates me. If he was getting 7 or 8 million less a year, I wouldn't be so mad about it. But because he's getting paid as much as he did, and I think we had to do it when you think about it, that summer and the free agents, you want more productivity out of him, but he's not that player. But the fact he's stepping up and playing really well in the first 2 games so far is great for us. So hopefully going into game 3, he's going to continue that confidence and then take it into the second round. God forbid, touch wood, we have no injuries. We're getting through this series. Maxey, solid game from him. Love his energy. If they're going to leave Curry on him or leave him open on a double, that's fine. He's going to make those shots and make you pay, and he did. So carry on, Brooklyn. Like I said, with your game plan, but it's not working, and it's not going to work when you double Embiid. The only criticism, I suppose, if you can give it criticism, is probably, could Doc maybe add a couple of things just to his, and he's doing a great job. I'm not going to criticise. I don't think Doc Rivers is doing a bad job, but I'd like to see a bit more Paul Reed with Embiid, and I'd also like to see a bit more McDaniel and less Niang, because when we go into round 2, we're probably going to need more defensive stuff than offensive stuff. happening within our sort of play and our rotations. And Niang, I like Niang, solid player. I think he's definitely a player you want to have in your rotation for round one. But as we look like we're going into round two, I would like to see a bit more of that. And obviously, if you excuse me, obviously if you're down, you're going to want to put George in and give him this chance and get those bang bang George Niang threes. But yeah, I'd like to see there's a little few adjustments there. I think with Daniel's very athletic, Reed's athletic, and we need that athleticism going into game three. So I struggle with my words clearly. Maybe it's a lack of sleep. Who knows? So yeah, that's what I'd like to see going into game 3 and 4. Maybe a few just minor adjustments there, just to see if that will help us as we progress into the playoffs. Because when we get into round two, we're not going to be using 11 players. I'm expecting 8 or 9. I'm expecting the minutes to go up from 33, 34 up to 37, 38 for the starters like Embiid, Harden, Maxey, Harris. And then a few more minutes, like I said, for McDaniels being probably one of the star players off the bench with Melton. But yes, that's my review of Sixers in 6. I will upload this today, the day after the game, and I will try and do an Eagles one tomorrow because it is still big news for us Philadelphia sports fans, especially the ones that are 4 for 4. Like I said, I try to be 4 for 4, but I'm more 3 for 4 because I don't really get into hockey with so many sports teams that I have.